Okay, welcome to the second part of our lesson on college essays today. Sorry, I can only record 15 minutes at a time, and so it cut me off, but I'm on to the next one. Okay, let's keep going. Here we go. All right, some things to think about. If you have a choice of topics, choose a topic that highlights you. Um, Please do not write about how great a college is, how hard it is to become a doctor, how many hours they work, or the number of extracurricular activities you took part in during high school. Why would I say those three specifically? Because they happen a lot. But really, those are like those things. I mean, they've already seen your transcript, so they know what you're involved in high school. They know how many years it takes to become a doctor. And they also know why their college is great. Otherwise, they wouldn't be working there. You're not trying to tell them things they already know. You're trying to tell them things they don't know about you. So, instead, again, creative approach, things that aren't covered in your application. Make sure that it's focused on one aspect of who you are, one story, one time, one event, one turning point. Don't try to cover so much stuff. All right, show, not tell. Instead of saying, I like to surround myself with people with a variety of backgrounds and interests. Don't you sound amazing? Am I supposed to just take your word for it? I don't know you. They don't know you. So instead of telling them, hey, I'm cool with diversity, or, I love working in a group. Why don't you tell me about it? Use those experiences you've had at Texas high school, whether those were good or bad. Focus on the good, but take me there. Tell me about the group. Tell me about the time you were paired with people who were not like you at all. Tell me about the time in STEM bridge camp or whatever. Make sure that you take me to the event as it's happening. Okay, use your own voice. Don't try to sound stuffy or someone you're not. I'm not talking about using bad grammar or abbreviations or texting language. I'm talking about sounding like you. When I read your essay, it should sound the way that you sound. It shouldn't sound like your mom or like the admissions counselor. It should sound like you, right, in your own voice. Okay. Ask a parent or a teacher to proofread. We'll be doing stuff like that in the class, but do make sure you ask other people. It's easy for us to get so close to our own work that we don't see some things, and so it's always great to ask somebody else. All right, some things not to include in your essay. Please don't include negativity. Even if you focus on something negative that happened to you, don't write about it unless there's some sort of positive twist at the end. Don't focus on the teacher that you hated or the relationship that made you believe you can't trust anybody. Those are topics for your diary, but not for this. Remember who your audience is and remember what you're trying to present to them. And are they going to get that through this essay? So if you talk about something negative, make sure you turn that into a positive. Okay. Controversy. This is like people say, well, I'm a Christian. I want to include that in my essay. Go for it by all means. Whatever your religion is, if that is a part of you and it cannot be separated from the story, then do that. But know this isn't the time, like Jonathan Edwards said, sinners in the hands of an angry God. This is not the time to convert people or to try to make them see your beliefs. You don't know who's reading your paper, and plus um, that just doesn't really allow for much growth if you're already coming across as closed-minded, like this is the one and only way and let me tell you about it. You know what I'm saying? Okay. All right. Oversharing, again, stuff for your diary, not for your essay. Think about that kind of stuff. Arrogance. Of course, you should be proud of everything you've accomplished and the fact that you turned that, horrible group project around. I don't know. Like you want to be excited about what you've done, but you don't want to sound like you're the best or you're the most important or you've never made a mistake in your life because then they know you're faking it because that's not real. Okay. And then cliches. Oh, I hate it when I have to write on someone's paper, this is cliche, because I don't want to say that someone's life is cliche. No, that's not what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to say that you got to take a fresh approach if you're going to use a topic that a lot of people write about. So, anyway, I think that you've got to take a fresh spin if there's something that, especially, oh, I forgot to mention this one, the summer camp. A lot of you have probably been to summer camps or worked at camps. There's a lot of essays like that. So, what's something new you can write about that summer camp experience that will be different? Okay. So I was looking up advice from other students in a book that I have, and I thought this was cool. Jen said that she, of course, emphasized to be creative and different, and she said they get the same essays over and over again, so the creative ones really stand out. I think that letting the readers get to know you on a personal level is something everyone should strive for in writing an admission essay. Be yourself. And you're like, ugh, they would not like me if they really knew me. Yes, they would. You're cool. You just gotta, let your flag shine. Be proud of who you are. Do what, you know, show them what makes you you. If you're very sarcastic, you can throw in some sarcasm into your essay. If you're funny, go ahead. If you're a super nerd, let it go. This is the time to be who you are. Okay, so over the last few years, I've had several students write essays for my class that were then admitted to Ivy League or schools they really wanted to get into that were competitive, as well as students who received big scholarships. Now, this is not because of me. This is because some student actually listened to what I said and was like, "Hey, I'm going to be creative," and so I took some of their advice, and this guy wanted to remain anonymous, but he went to Stanford, if that helps you any. Anyway, he says that he struggled with like what to write about on his prompt, so he set it as the background on his phone, and then just wrote notes like throughout the day when he would think of something that would fit that prompt, and so it really helped him. And then he let it sit for a while and then write the essay. At this point, we don't have that much time. He kind of started over the summer, and I'm telling you this today, and then I'm going to have a rough draft due next week. So you don't have like weeks to marinate on it, but um, taking the time to think about what you want to write about. And this essay for this class is probably not the last essay you're going to have to write, because more than likely you're going to need to write something for a scholarship later on down the road. And this is the kind of thing that you can go back and remember. Okay. This was from Catherine Doan. And what I thought that she said that was good was she was just basically talking in general about making sure that you write about what is creative and not necessarily what you think they want to hear. Make sure you have people edit your essays, and then apply it everywhere, because she was really concerned at the end about where to go to school. She also said something about how I rock or something. How nice. I probably included that on purpose. Okay. Haley Rogers is at Princeton, and I thought she said a lot of good things about being yourself, and that colleges both choose and deny qualified applicants all the time based on how good of a fit they'll be on campus. They want you to thrive and grow so that one day you'll make them look good, because then they're going to hit you up for money every year for the rest of your life. They want you to be successful so that one day you give enough money that they can name a building after you. So they're looking for people who are going to be leaders, people who are going to enhance their environment. They can't have, all leaders. Like, they've got to have some people who bring something else to the table, people who are creative, people who are funny, people who are outgoing, people who are nerdy. They got to have the whole gauntlet to really make the college, environment work. And so be you. Okay. And then show, not tell. Don't say, I am very driven in school. She says, because of blank, I have this desire to overcome blank in order to find fulfillment, and to still include your faults, because that's part of being human and it's part of being mature. Okay. I liked the fact that Brianna said that she used humor, and she is enjoying college where she wanted to go right now. Let's see. Oh, well, let me go back. Okay. And then this is from Caroline Pirtle. And of course it is, because it has a cuss word in it. And I love her to death, but just so you know. She said to, again, don't write what you think they want to hear, play hard to get, write a bomb ass essay. There it is. That's authentic and real. Be more upfront. They'll see that you're fearless and competitive. They'll take you serious. And then she also said, apply to every scholarship you're eligible for, and applications suck, but they're your future, so get on it. There's a long "you're" there. She wrote that years ago. I bet she'd be embarrassed if I told her that. Okay. So this is what I want you to do next. I want you to read the sample essays that I put together in a packet for you. I took off the names because it's really not important who wrote each essay. I want you to focus on these two things. What qualities of a great college essay does it display, like the ones that I've been going over with you? And what lesson can I take away from reading this sample? All right. And then, of course, you have questions that go along with this part of the presentation. That's just so that you'll remember some of the stuff. But you have a homework assignment tonight where I want you to brainstorm. I want you to go look at your applications. I want you to see what topics you actually have to write an essay for, because I want the essay you have to write for my class to be an essay you can actually use. I don't I mean, if you're really not writing essays, then that's okay. You may just need to write an essay for this class. But for all of you out there that know you're going to apply, you just haven't gotten the ball yet, your homework assignment is to go out there and figure out what essay prompts you have to write on so that you can write on something useful for my class. The rough draft of your essay is going to be due September 27th for A and fifth period and September 28th for B Day. It must be typed. It must have the entire topic and the word limit at the top of the page. Must also include how close you are to the limit. So if you say, here's the prompt, the word limit is 650 words, and I've written 657. That gives me an idea. Which 7 words can I help you cut? Okay. If the word limit is 650 and you're on 630, I could probably find you a good 20 words to include. So that's why you have to do it that way. Leave your name off of the rough draft because we're going to do a blind peer review. Do not bring in a paper that is less than 650 words. If you have some sort of issue with that, then you need to let me know so that I can approve it, because for this grade, your essay must be 650 words. Okay, and the final essay will be due on October 5th on turnin.com for everyone. Paper must be typed with a heading at the top. You must again have the entire topic and the word limit if you have one at the top of the page, and again, how close you are to the limit. Now, I'm going to guarantee that I'm going to get those papers back as soon as possible so that you can use them, because I know a lot of you are going for early admission deadlines, and I want to make sure that you have it. And so, again, if you need help along down the road, I'd be happy to help you. But this is the one I thought, hey, if I'm going to teach a whole lesson on it, then I might as well, have them at least practice one if they're not writing one right away. Okay, I also want to take this time to tell you a little bit about Feast and Follies. And I got to hurry because I'm running out of time. But put on your calendar, November 2nd is Feast and Follies, fifth period in the cafeteria. You do get a test grade for both dressing up and some sort of committee. So you can do food, decor, or cleanup. And I'll give you more details about that later. There is a costume contest, an art contest, medieval music, photo booths for pictures with friends, a wing eating contest. We did it 2 years. I don't know for sure if we're going to do it this year or not, but I'll let you know. Can you be one of the traditional pilgrims from Canterbury? Yes, of course you can. And we're going to go over all of the pilgrims in just a short amount of time when we read the prologue. Here's a list of them. But you can also be anything medieval for Feast and Follies now. And that's really how things change. When people ask like how things changed from before, we don't go on a pilgrimage anymore. It's just a party. But you don't get a test grade on how well your costume fits that one character. And that was kind of the problem teachers were running into. And there's a long backstory. You can ask me questions if you want to. But ultimately, we decided, you know what? The point is, we want the kids to have fun. We want it to be an easy grade. We want them to be able to celebrate, and dress up. So you can be anything medieval, like a maiden, a knight. Obviously, no real swords will be allowed. Don't bring that. A friar or a nun. There you go. A king. Peasants. A jester. You can even be a dragon. Make your own costume. The creative costumes are always the best. Of course, you can buy a costume too. That's why we always do it after Halloween. We do have some that you can borrow, so you can come and ask me or Miss Ferguson or Miss Rigdon about costumes, and we can check you out one and come to school dressed that day because we're just going to have a medieval